All right, hello, welcome back. This is review video 3. We're going to go over income elasticity and supply elasticity. So let's dive in. So remember, income elasticity is looking at how the change in income impacts the quantity demanded of a certain good, right? So if income always changes first, and then we look at how that change in income triggers a change in the quantity demand. And this will always tell us if something is a normal or inferior good. So let's say our income goes up. Right? Income is positive. It goes up. If the quantity demanded of the good goes up as well, then we have a normal good, right? Here's why. If when income goes up, I demand more of another good, I demand more of it, it means because I have more money, I want more of this good, which makes it normal. And so if we're looking at it from a coefficient perspective, this is always going to be a positive number. Income goes up, quantity demanded of that good goes up, that's a positive. Positive and positive makes a positive. Also, if income goes down, I'm going to demand less of this good, so it's also going to go down. Negative and negative makes a positive. So whenever you see a positive income elasticity coefficient, you know you have a normal good. And it's easy to remember that we're talking about normal and inferior goods because income is what determines if something is normal or inferior. So whenever you see this term income elastic, then you know that we're talking normal or inferior goods. How do we find inferior? Well, let's say your income goes up. You're making a lot more money. You demand less of that good, right? If when I have more money, my quantity demanded falls, then of course I have an inferior good. And vice versa. When I lose money, when my income goes down, I'm poorer. If I buy more of this good, then it's an inferior good. They're moving in opposite directions. How do we see that in our coefficient? We see it as a negative number. When our income goes up, and our quantity demanded of that good goes down, that's a positive, and a negative, that kicks out a negative coefficient. And vice versa, when our income goes down, that's a negative, but my quantity demanded goes up, that's a positive, then of course we know we have an inferior good. Should make some logical sense as well. So let's check this one out down here. Let's say the income goes from 10,000 to 20,000. That's an increase as a positive number in our income. The quantity demanded for good B goes from 75 to 20. It goes down. I have more money. I buy less of the product. What's going on? We have an inferior good, a positive and a negative. We're going to have a negative coefficient as a result. Okay, hopefully that made some sense. Let's look at supply elasticity, the last elasticity you need to know. Supply elasticity just looks at the sensitivity of the change in quantity supplied when we have a change in price. And this has mostly to do with time of adjustment. If we have something that's really complex, very difficult to produce, then a slight change in price or even a dramatic change in price is not going to change quantity supplied all that much because it's hard for businesses to gear up and produce those goods. So it's less likely to be immediately responsive to a change in price. But if we have something that's highly elastic, it means it's relatively easy to make. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. The resources are readily available. So a slight increase in price means more profits to be had. Businesses will follow that profit train because it's easy for them to ramp up production quickly. So what's this look like? Highly inelastic supply is going to be a steep supply curve. We see a change in price, even a dramatic change in price, has a very small change in quantity. That's highly inelastic supply. Elastic supply is a pretty flat supply curve, right? A even significant change or insignificant change in price results in a significant change in quantity. So of course that's an elastic curve. Then perfectly inelastic for supply is going to be a vertical supply curve. We see this with long run aggregate supply and the supply of money. Two instances in which we see a perfectly inelastic supply curve where the quantity supplied is fixed. Awesome. Okay, that's it for this video. Hopefully those two kind of subversive elasticities make some sense for you and you can do well on them in the test. They're not heavily assessed, but you should have them under your belt. There's probably about 2 or 3 questions total for our income elasticity and supply elasticity. All right, thanks for watching.